On this episode of the Superhero Forge podcast, we talk about Black Adam, The Rock, and the unsung hero, which will be the secret for your fitness success. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Superhero Forge podcast, where we help geeks, gamers, and cosplayers get stronger, lose fat, and get in the best shape of their lives simply by using their inspiration as their motivation. AKA, we make superheroes. I'm Coach Troy Bushido. I am head coach of Superhero Forge Fitness. We train millennial cosplayers predominantly, but if you're here for simplified fitness advice with no fluff, no BS, and no heavy gimmicks, you come to the right place. But today's episode, we're going to be talking a lot more about the Black Adam Black Adam movie. Talking about the star, The Rock, and what we can learn from The Rock's entourage about getting in your best shape possible. Now, what really annoys me about talking about superhero fitness is the Toxic Timmys out there going, "Oh, The Rock shape? Steroids, lol." They will just tune you out. Anything that you have to talk about when it comes to fitness advice based on superheroes, they instantly go, "It ain't gonna work. They have steroids. Are you gonna be on steroids? Huh? Oh, you don't got the juice? That's why you'll never be in their shape. That's their secret." And it drives me up a wall. Because first off, we're not trying to be in the exact same shape as The Rock. Similar shape for some of you, maybe. For some of you, then we might not even want that shape. But for those looking to pack on lean muscle and to get the characterization of Black Adam, somebody super strong but that puts up with no shit, that teeters on the line to villainy, and whether he goes over the edge or not, I'm not sure. I'll tell you this. Even if you were never, ever, even 5% the shape of The Rock, 5% of The Rock would be 100% better for yourself. And in truth, we don't have to follow The Rock's lifestyle to the letter because The Rock's lifestyle is not feasible for most people. But we could definitely replicate his work ethic. We could definitely replicate his drive. We could definitely replicate his passion. We could even replicate some parts of his sense of humor and his outlook and attitude on life. Those are things you can replicate, and that goes with any hardworking celebrity, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, J-Lo, Beyonce, whatever. If it wasn't spoon-fed to you, and you had to earn it, then boom, there you go. So, I promised I talk about some unsung hero in The Rock's entourage. A secret weapon that you can use to get into The Rock's shape. The secret weapon in most superhero celebrities' repertoire that, if you leverage that angle, will help you find secrets to get in your best shape. The secret is their stuntman. The stuntman doesn't have the same resources as a star. Yet the stuntman is tasked with being in the same shape as a star, if not better, in order to be as close as they can to the star. You gotta be coming in the same physique, you gotta be coming in the same physicality, you gotta be coming in the same energy and strength. But you got the job of taking the hits, the falls, the punches, the smacks, potential explosions. Now the star will be like, "I want to do all my own stunts," but there's just a handful of those stunts. They're gonna be like, "Nope." And that's where the stuntman comes in. They have to be in the same shape as the star, and in some ways even more shape than the star. So we're talking about The Rock. Today I was able to find some research through Men's Health on The Rock's secret weapon. His cousin and 20 plus year stuntman, Tanoai Reed. Now, I will probably link it somewhere in the comments, somewhere in this video. But he did a Gym and Fridge episode for Men's Health. And while most of the video was talking about a little bit of his working out, stuff like that, and he had a lot of humor about chocolate, there was a few little hidden gems in there that I picked up on, that I extracted, and I flipped it, and I'm going to give you little gems about Tanoai Reed's regimen in order to keep up with his superstar cousin, and he does, that could help you. Because Tanoai Reed is the stuntman. He lives humbly in a house in Hawaii. Here's Mr. Tanoai Reed working out in his garage in Hawaii. But that little humble garage gym, he has to use equipment in that gym to be in the same physical shape as his superstar cousin. All without the chefs, without the resources, without the money, possibly without the drugs. Couple big tips that I got from that research, and I have 3 tips for you. First tip is his workout split. I'm gonna front load it with the best tip of the whole thing. The other 2 I should say, small potatoes compared to this. His workout split's different from The Rock's. The Rock has something called Iron Paradise, which is his personal trainer literally closing his gym just for The Rock to work out in. So, The Rock loves doing bro splits. He loves doing leg day, chest day, back day, arm day, body day, da-da-day, da-da-day, da-da-day. Like, typical bro splits. For some fitness experts, that's a telltale sign that somebody is using some form of drugs, because that type of split that grew in popularity in the 80s when drugs were starting to hit their peak, as far as anabolic steroids I'm talking about. Not cocaine. I know cocaine was big in the 80s, but we're talking about steroids. But Tanoai Reed's split is very unique and a split I would recommend most people looking to build muscle to do. 4 days a week lifting. Monday, lower body, so legs down. Tuesday, upper body, belly button up, chest back, arms, everything. And you want to go relatively heavy on those first 2 days. So you're talking about like 5 rep sets, 6 rep sets, up to 8 rep sets, heavy ass weight. You do a cardio and core day on Wednesday, basically an active rest day. Thursday, lower body. Friday, upper body. But on those second 2 days, you ramp up the volume while lowering the weights. So now you're doing sets of 8, 10, 12, 15 reps, sometimes up to 20 reps on those last 2 days. What this is doing is you're ramping up both fibers of the muscle by doing 2 of the same muscle groups per week, splitting them up maybe 3 days apart. He's giving constant stimulus, growth stimulus to the muscle fibers. So he's not putting a week apart on arms or legs, something like that. Keep in mind, and like I said before, the 1 day a week bro split was popular in the 80s, on the peak of them juices. Even in the experimental stage of steroids, which was the golden era of bodybuilding, the mid to late 70s, the guys back then still did muscles twice a week. Like if you looked at Schwarzenegger's old split, he worked out 6 days a week. And sometimes twice a day. So you're looking at 5 hours worth of exercise. 5 hours a day. And muscles a lot of time are still hit at least twice a week. So even in the experimental steroid age, which was golden era bodybuilding, they still made sure muscles were stimulated multiple times per week. And that's the big take home with rule or tip number 1. Upper lower split is very powerful. And if you have 4 days a week to train, upper lower, upper lower. If you want to do his way, Tanoai Reed's way, upper lower heavy, upper lower medium light. Boom. Boom. I can mic drop right there, but I'm not. We're going to keep this ball rolling. Tip number 2, hydration is huge. Now, especially in Hawaii where things get hot, juices and coconut juices along with a lot of water is huge, not only for making sure the muscles stay hydrated, the whole body stays hydrated, but then you're filling up those muscle bellies with water, so you're always looking pretty jacked. You're not drying up like a raisin. Adding fruits that are high in juices would also be very helpful for muscle building in a hot environment, because water from the fruit will hydrate you, and the fructose from the fruit is going to be sent right to the muscles in the form of glycogen. So glycogen fills the muscles up with that high intensity, high octane energy. It's a lot of times when somebody carb loads, that's what happens. You're filling the muscle bellies with glycogen, and you're filling it with easy access energy to do exercise with. Now, the thing about glycogen is that it stores water up to 200% its size. For 1 ounce of glycogen, it's 2 to 3 ounces of water. That's where people start looking really jacked and really pumped when they have a lot of carbs in their system. But that's also why the keto diet gets really popular. It's when people drop those carbs, they also drop the water weight. So they think, oh my God, it's a miracle diet. I lost 8 pounds in a week. It's water. It's water. But back to the task at hand. Tanoai read. Tip number 2 is hydration. Tip number 3, the air fryer. The air fryer is one of the most unsung heroes when it comes to tasty nutrition. When it comes to making food taste good without adding a lot of additives that add a lot of calories. I got an air fryer for dirt cheap from a friend, and oh boy, it's helped so much in my own nutrition. And I swear to you, if you have anything to do to take advantage of a shopping day like Amazon Prime Day or Black Friday, any shopping day, get an air fryer and add air fryer recipes to your nutrition plan. I promise you, you're gonna get all the good macros, none of the heavy calories, and a lot of good taste. All in all, those are the 3 tips, but I want to leave you with this. I want to leave you with the fact that when you're trying to look for resources on celebrity fitness, instead of like looking at the star themselves, look outward towards the trainers who might add something to the media, and look towards the stuntmen. Look towards the people who aren't the celebrity, who don't have all the money in the world. As much as we are inspired by, say, Mark Wahlberg, the guy has his home gym that's the size of his entire basement, finished basement. He still has his personal trainer. He still owns a fitness franchise, F45. He has his own personal chef. He has all these things. We don't. So we gotta look to ourselves like, okay, what do the coaches do to keep themselves in shape? What do the stuntmen do to keep themselves in shape? That is a big secret. That's where we should definitely look to get these hidden gems of fitness that's a little bit more simplified and a little bit more accessible for the common fan, such as us geeks. Look, if you had a lot of value from this podcast, be sure to like this video. If you see this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you hear this on Spotify, please follow. If you saw this on YouTube and prefer Spotify, feel free to switch over. For future podcast episodes, feel free to just put the phone down when I'm talking. This is done in podcast format, maybe a little bit of B-roll, but definitely just sit back and listen and relax while you work out, or even geek out. Game, Warhammer models, what have you. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. If you want to keep up to date with all the information we have, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. My most active social media is Instagram at superhero.forge. If you want further coaching, go ahead and look us up at superheroforge.com. This has been Troy Bushido, and I will talk to you soon. I have an ending card. Now is the time.